The greatest secret of voestalpine's PHS technology is the zinc coating. Actually, at a temperature of 900 degrees during the PHS production process, the zinc should vaporize. This is prevented by a thin layer of aluminium oxide on the surface of the material. This layer doesn't allow the zinc to vaporize. This is something you've already seen at home when you boil milk, for example. An unappetizing skin forms on the surface. But this skin on top of the milk also prevents the milk from evaporating. This is the same thing that happens when an aluminium oxide layer forms during the PHS production process. Another thing that demonstrates this phenomenon very well is this chocolate-covered marshmallow cream. Let's take a look at the cross-section. You can see how the thin layer of chocolate is responsible for holding the structure, this very fluffy structure, in place and stabilizing it. But this is only part of the story. When you have a liquid zinc layer, there is a risk of it flowing off the base material. You can also prevent this by making the underside of the material a little bit rougher, just like here in this cream-filled waffle. Look how the chocolate between the layers is stabilized by the uneven surfaces of the waffle material. This is how the chocolate is kept in place, and this is precisely how it works in the PHS process. When we take a close look at this PHS production process, we see that iron-zinc crystals form from below and grow into the coating layer. These crystals create a rough surface that prevents the liquid zinc from flowing off. We can illustrate that with a drawing. Here you have a sheet with a thickness of about 1 millimeter. And here is the zinc coating layer. An extremely thin aluminium oxide layer on top of the zinc coating prevents the zinc from vaporizing. On the other hand, the zinc doesn't flow off the base material because of the crystals that have grown at the bottom of the layer. They stabilize the coating and prevent it from flowing away. You can see this even better when it's magnified by an electron microscope in these two pictures. Here you see the layer before the crystals have formed. After the crystals have formed, they look like small needles that grow into the coating material and prevent it from flowing off. We see that these two layers prevent the zinc both from vaporizing and from flowing off. This becomes even clearer when we look at a size comparison. If the thickness of our sheet, which is only 1 millimeter, were as high as St. Stephen's Cathedral in Vienna, then I would be about as tall as the thickness of the zinc coating. A stabilizing oxide skin on top of the zinc layer would be the thickness of a bathing cap. This bathing cap I'm putting on, which you can see is really very thin, would be the structure that stabilizes the entire system. This size comparison shows how a very small amount of material can have a gigantic effect.
voestalpine, one step ahead.